Hey everybody, and welcome to Frankie's DIY Life. Of course, I'm Frankie. If you've never been to my channel before, it's all about upcycling, recycling, redo, reuse. So what I've got is I went thrifting. I was going thrifting, getting me some sheets for material. You can buy the sheets way cheaper than you can go buy some material. And while I was looking, there was a mannequin that was right next to me. And what she had on is what I wanted. Now, grant you, it is a 3XL right there. But anyway, it didn't matter to me because I wanted to buy it for the pattern. Because I've seen these on Facebook, Temu, I've seen them everywhere, and I thought, well, those don't look too hard to make, but I would like to have a pattern. So for $5, I bought these, and I'm gonna fix them so they will fit me first, and then I will cut them in two, and then I will have me a pattern. But let me show them to you. They're so cute. They're those little overall bibby things, but you know, they're way too big. But for $5, I bought them, and I'm gonna make me a pattern out of them. Now, I can see why somebody got rid of these. I mean, you can see straight through them. I mean, you can see my hand through there. So, you know, who wants to see somebody's underwear through their pants? Okay, so I didn't film this, but let me tell you what I did. I turned the bib overalls inside out, put them on, and then I pinched them to where they were too big for me, and then I put pins in the side. Now they're inside out now, so I put them like that. That way when I took them off, I knew where I could cut them off at. So that's what I did. But a little tip, if you're going to be doing that, the best thing to do is use safety pins, because when you try to take that off with them pins on them, it hurts. So I want to show you guys my new sewing table. I got it at a yard sale. I love it. It fits my serging machine, and so it's just so much better than that TV tray that I had with my ironing board on top of it. So now when I sew, it don't vibrate like crazy. Okay, so now that I've got it laid out, I see there's a band right here. I'm gonna cut this out, and then I'm going to cut me a piece for it. So when I put the straps on, I'll stick the straps inside of this and then lay my band on top of it and then sew it. And that way I'll have my straps right there. But I want to show you the cool thing. Here is the cool thing. This is a shower curtain that I'm making this out of. And so the shower curtain, as you know, already has the buttonholes or the hook holes for the shower. So when I get ready to cut that band out that I just showed you right here, I'm going to cut it out of this. And so that way I will have my button loops already. Of course, it'll be on the other side because this side is the side with the straps. Okay? Follow me? Stick with me. It's a game plan. All right, sometimes you can catch that serging seam just right and peel it and it'll come all unravel, but I am not that lucky with that most of the time. So what I'm fixing to do is just go through here and then cut that seam right out, and then when I put it on my material, I will add that as my seam allowance. All right, so now I've got the crotch cut out, so that's done. Now I'm fixing to go up the seams, the front side and the back side, and do the same and cut that out. Okay, so now I've got that all cut out all the way up, and this is the buttonhole side. What I'm going to have to do now is pick this out right through here and right up through here, and then I'll have a pattern for this piece. Okay, work in progress. So what I did is this. I just cut it right in two. The reason I did that and didn't take this out is because, remember I told you the shower curtain, had those shower curtain rings, hooks, for the hooks. So that's the piece that I'm going to use for there, so I'm okay there. So now I'm fixing to cut out the seam on this back side. Okay, so now this is the back side, and I've cut that seam off. Now I'm up to this piece right here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut this off on this side. That way I will have a little template to go by. Okay, so I took the seam ripper and I cut that off. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut these straps off. Okay, which I guess I should have showed you. I just cut that off. So there's my template right there when I go to sew it back on the material that I've chose to use, which is, again, the shower curtain. Okay, so I've cut it in two, and now I've got all my pieces. I just need to lay them out on my fabric. All right, so I'm going to press this as much as my iron cord will let me. And like I said, this is folded in half. So this is a shower curtain, and it's folded in half, okay? So now what I'm fixing to do is go through here and pin it, pin it, pin it, and then I'm going to cut about a 1/2 inch wider than this is. That will give me my seam allowance. It's face to face. Uh-oh, look what I did when I cut out my pattern. Mistake. Well, that's okay. I made this for a pattern anyway, so there you go. All right, so I've got it all laid out on my shower curtain, and I'm fixing to cut both sides out. So it's doubled, so it'll be 2 when I cut it out and 2 over there. And then, like I said, I'm going to use this thing right here where we've got the holes for my loops right here. Cool idea. All right, let's get it cut out. All right, so I got them all cut out. And now it's time to sew them together. I'm fixing to go to my ironing board and iron these holes out right here. Okay, so this is my template. There's my little holes right there. And so I've got it fixed where it's even on both sides. And I'm fixing to cut this out right here. Give myself a little room for extra in case I need it. Okay, so when I'm taking them apart, if I get them all mixed up, I need to know which one's the front and the back. So I know these 2 pieces right here are the back, and I'll label these the front just in case I get them mixed up. So just something to help me out. The reason I label them is because the back has more of an arch going toward the crotch than the front does. So you got to know which side you're sewing together. All right, so now I got all the pins out, and what I'm fixing to do is take my little template out, because that's the one, oops, still got a pin left in it. 2, okay. So, I know this is the front, because there's the holes, sorry. So, I'm fixing to take that off, more pins. Okay, now. All right, so I know this is the front. Now I'm fixing to flip it over right here. Like this. And I'm fixing to sew straight down. But I'm not going to sew the leg. I'm just going down to the crotch, okay? Okay, I'm fixing to take you to my machine and show you what I'm fixing to do. I'm going to start at the top. And I am only sewing to the crotch. We're going to leave the legs open for right now. Before I get started, I had someone ask me in my last video, would I show you how to thread this machine? I'm going to show you how to thread it. But if you have a machine like this, it'll work like this. There are several different machines. Let me show you my other one. My other one is right here. Now, it threads a little bit different, okay? But all the newer machines now will show you. If you can see those little dots right there, your thread goes down, then it goes up, then it goes around that thing. So they will show you really how to thread it. But let me go back to my other machine. All right, for this project, I'm going to be using white thread. I'm going to put it on my little post. I'm going to run it through this little tension right here. And you just pull it through. And then, if you follow the arrows, it tells you to go down. 1, 2, 3, and it tells you to come up. Sometimes you have to move your little wheel to get it up there, but there's a little thing in here right there, and it will catch your thread. Then after you got that done, then you go down here, and then under the needle is a little bitty hook right here, right there, and you put your thread behind it. Okay, you see that? And on this particular model, I have an automatic threader. So you put your thread here, you push this thing down, and you put the thread this way, and it will pull your thread through that needle for you. And my hands were probably in the way, probably didn't see it. Then we have a bobbin. I'm going to use a white bobbin. I'm going to get me one out of my little stash here. And then, I don't have much thread on here. I'm going to change it. But the thread goes in like this. You drop it in there. And then there is a little loop. You catch your thread under there. And then bring it through here. After you get all that done, you put your needle down, and your bobbin thread will come to the top. So now I have 2 pieces of thread right here, and I just push it to the back. I don't know if that was helpful or not. I hope it was, but due to videoing, that's the best I could do. I'm so sorry. Okay, so now I'm going to start and give it I'm going to sew this on my regular machine first, and then I'll try it on, and then if everything's fitting good, then I'll run it through my serger. But, you know, like I always said, if you're doing it first, do it with a long stitch, and that way if something's not right, it's easy to rip out. So I'm fixing to do me like half inch, a quarter inch, I'm sorry, and I'm going to go sew all the way down to the crotch. That was the back side, and now this is the front side, and I'm fixing to do the same thing. Okay, so here's my front, and then I sewed it down to the crotch. The legs are not sewn yet, okay? And then now I've got my back. Here's my back. I still got the pins in it now, but anyway, here's my back. I sewed it down to the crotch, and now I am fixing to do the arms first, and I'll do the flap at the top. I'm fixing to run the under the arms on all 4. I'm fixing to run it under my serger and my new serger and my new table. Anyway, I'm fixing to do that. If you don't have a serger, no problem, just zigzag it. Then I'm fixing to fold it over like this right here, and do a top stitch on it, okay, on all 4. I love my little table. I absolutely love it. But I want to show you a trick that my aunt taught me a long time ago. When you're sewing at your machine, you're not really paying attention. When you get up, you usually take your scissors with you. Now, if you got an apron or something on, you can put them in that, but a lot of times you forget to do it. Anyway, she taught me a long time ago to tie it to the table, and you couldn't take it nowhere. So I have this tied to the table, and I always got a pair of nippers. Okay, so here's the front. That's why I told you to mark it. Make sure it's the front. Yeah, that's the front. Okay, so here is that little piece that I got off of the top of that shower curtain. I'm going to make sure it's lined up good, so the buttons will be even. And then I am going to sew it right through here, on here. And then when I flip it back up, See, it'll look like this right here. So let me get that sewn, and then I'll have my buttonholes. I decided to cut that little extra piece that was on here, that little extra piece of fabric. I cut it because I was just always trying to make sure I got enough. Anyway, I cut that extra off, and I'm just sewing it straight to the top of the bib. Okay, got it on. So now that's my bib. There's my buttonholes right there, okay? Automatic buttonholes from your shower curtain top. I should have waited until I done the armholes, because now I got that bib part on, so now I got to serge it. So once I get it serged, then I'll fold it down, and then I'll run me a top stitch all the way down. You see where I serged that? After I sewed it, I went and serged it. Well, now I'm going to fold it down. I'm going to run me a top stitch all the way down, and that'll hold that serging down. All right, I have got that top stitch down on both sides. Now let's work on the back. This is where we're going to put our strap in. We're going to put the strap inside here, and then we're going to put this on top of it, sandwich it in, and sew it. Okay, so now I've cut me a long strip, and this is going to be my strap. Now, since it already has a hem on that side, I am going to flip it over and flip it over again, and I'm going to make it match that. Okay, here's my strap. Made it match. And now I'm just going to cut it in two, and I'll have, whoa, there we go. I'm going to cut it in two, and then I'll have enough for back there and up here. I hope. All right, so I'm going to do the same to the back. I'm going to take it to my machine, and I'm going to do a little top stitch all the way down right there. And then I'm going to fold this one over. That's my little banding. And I'm just going to do a top stitch on the banding too. And then I'll show you how we put the straps on. Okay, so here's where we are. This is the back. I put that little seam right through there, you know, so it'll look good on the back. Okay, now here is my straps right here. And I cut them in two. So this raw edge is okay. I'm fixing to maybe put it right about, well, maybe right about here. And I'm fixing to put, let's do the wrong side. That way when it flips over, it'll be the pretty side, okay? So we're going to put them right about here. And right about here. And then that little piece that I got, I put that little hem on there, serge that side. And we are going to sandwich that rascal right in there and sew a line right down through here, and then one right down through here, and we will have our straps on. Okay, so I've got that sewed on. That's the back side. And so now I'm fixing to do the same thing I did to the front. I'm going to take it and fold it over and take me a little top stitch all the way around. Okay. So now we're getting close to finish. This is my front side. So I don't need this front tag anymore because I know what the front is now, because it has the buttonholes at the top. See? All right, so we're going to lay that out. And then here's the back side. I'm going to take the back off because I know it's the back. And I am going to match it up from under the arm, pin it like that. I'm going to go all the way down each leg. Okay, so I've got the sides all pinned down. And before I serge that, what I'm going to do is run me a stitch down through there, long stitch, and that way I can, I'll try it on and make sure it's okay before I actually put the serge in on the side. I've got the sides done, and now what I'm fixing to do is I'm fixing to line up this crotch right here. Fixing to line that up. I'm fixing to go down each leg and line it up, sew it, and try it on. Then after I know it fits, then I will go back and I will serge these legs. All right, so I got them on. Now remember, I cut these down from a 3XL. So I've cut them down. Here's my straps. And I've got the buttonhole. So all I got to do is put me some buttons right here. And then here is the rest of it. Now, I think I'm going to go, the reason that I don't serge the first time is because, you know, you got to fix your mistakes first. So I think I'm going to take it up just a hair more, maybe like a little half a finger from here to here. Now I got big hips anyway. I know I got a big butt, but you know, I don't want it to be extra big. I thought about putting pockets in here like this, but I was afraid that it would just make it look that much more bigger. But I do think I will maybe add a couple pockets here or a pocket here. You gotta have a pocket somewhere, okay? So I got it on the inside out. That way I know exactly where I need to take it up. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so I've got it marked, and that is where I am going to take it up. Now, like I said again, remember it's from a 3XL. Okay, so I've got all this material left right here. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to take this little slot right here, and I am going to put me one up here, just sew it down. This right here is already hemmed at the top, so that's good. And then I'm thinking for this little section right here, I'm going to cut it in two, and I think I might make me 2 small pockets. Okay, I've cut me out 2 square pockets right here. But I'm thinking I don't want square pockets. I'm thinking I'm gonna curve them and make them round at the bottom. I want to tell you about these pockets here. I rounded them off, and then when I went to the sewing machine, when I was gonna put that hem all the way around it, my tension was off, and so it was making it pucker. So I sort of like that, so I just went with it. I mean, that was just accident, so, but I like it. Okay, I've got my pockets all pinned on, and I got one up here, and I told you this right here, this puffiness, that was just an accident because my tension was too tight, but I liked it, and I'm going with it. You know what time it is? It is time to add my buttons, and then I have already marked them, and from right here to right here. So I've got a little ink mark there. And I've got these vintage buttons. Of course, I'm only going to use 2. Okay, so here it is. And those are those accident puffy pockets, which I really adore. I like them. I mean, that was a fluke that happened. So got a little material left over, and I would like to make a headband. So in order to do that, I'm going to snip this end off. And I am fixing to take this off. And I am going to use this hem right here. And I'm going to make me a matching headband. Okay, I cut me a piece. And it's not long enough, so I cut another piece, sewed it together. I'm fixing to take it to my machine, fold it over just like this right here, make a seam all the way down it, and then I'm going to clip, 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 clip. I'm going to take this to my machine, and I'm going to start right here, and I'm just going to start sewing all the way around. I keep going and keep going till I feel this thing up with this. And this is the cute little flower I made. Rough it up a little bit. Alright, so I thought it looked a little plain, so I was going to bedazzle it up a little bit. I put my button in the middle of my flower. I got these butterflies off of a yard flag, and there's one at the bottom. And then there's something on the back, and I'll sew those on, and then I'll try it on. Just thought I'd show you my little headband I made. That's just with that hem. Yeah, put it on like this.